Alright, so you asked for a Johnny Lee. This one's for you. You don't know me. You have never known me. You know me through hearsay. You know me by Jesse Lee. You know me by other people. But you don't know me. So you should get to know me before you make content in replace of somebody else's due. That person who you're sticking up for decided to poison me up in an old relationship. I'm not talking about the recent one. This recent one was a resolve of mine, and I didn't even want it. I didn't. I wanted a relationship. I wanted a love life. And either way, I deserve to be treated like a human being, not poisoned up, not having a paid relationship work on me in that way. But the fact of in the recent one, but the fact of the matter is way back in the day, the same playbook was being handed off to me. I have the right to my truth. And my truth was to figure this stuff out, and now I did. I know Jesse Lee. I know who he is. I know how he's been in my life. Gaining all of this access and information to specifically use it tailor-made to me. So you want to act like I don't have the right to come out here and say this stuff when he's been hopping all over my life like a bunny rabbit with my information, to have the intellect to be able to run my life. Like he has. Jesse Lee ruined my life. From back then to even the situation with my mom being the fact that that's when he was coming in to get involved. Something's really fishy about that, where I was losing everything, tailor-made, specific catered to me, or tailor-made to me specifically so that they could hopefully get me underneath and they could continue whatever. Jesse Lee's love for me was not love, and I'm not a fag for fucking Jesse. I'm not a fucking gay, I'm straight. I wanted a girlfriend and a love life with a monogamous relationship. In a monogamous relationship. It was well discussed that I was a target and I didn't know exactly where it was coming from. And then she turns out to be that person as well. I'm sorry, but these people have been paid provocateurs in my life to continue this derailment of my mind. I mean, you wanna pretend that I deserve to go into an insane asylum for simply having my own story, for simply sharing my own facts, when prior to these years, even if I had wanted to share and divulge any of this information, I couldn't have. I wouldn't have been able to. Not only physically and with my energy and, just the physics of it, but I was poisoned up. I didn't have my memories. My memories were wiped clean from me multiple times, and these memories came back and resurfaced, okay? And so when they surfaced, and I needed to move differently because the man had access to everything. My Facebook, my Gmail, my old phone number, the maneuvers in Elk River when I was in an accident that was definitely created. The police on the scene shut off their body cameras, didn't even allow me to discovery. I have all of that. I have the CD and the information that proves that they didn't even get me on discovery. So could it be used in courts? No. Did anything happen with it? No. The reason is because I would have had evidence. that suggested to what I'm saying to be true. The illegal activities of these police officers shutting their cameras off on me. It's illegal. And I don't care what criminal syndicate that these people have ties in. I'm not going to fucking allow this over my entire life. People just want to act like they can just get away willy-nilly all over my life in this fashion. And I'm not, and now that I'm standing up for myself, and now that I can come and put my actual thoughts to my voice, when before I couldn't. When before I was so stirred up, there's no way I could even surface this shit. I knew I was a target, though. I knew I was a targeted individual. I didn't know it was coming from Jesse. I didn't know it was coming from familial ties with inclinations to steal me out of my voice, to shut me out completely. I didn't know that. So it's not just, all of a sudden he's all acting ungrateful about what his brothers had been for him all along. No. Ungrateful. Where did I have to be grateful for? The fact that you had poisoned me up to begin with and set things inside of my life to leave me in blight? Was that something that I needed to be thankful for? Just so you could come into my life. And pushing me under to leave me for homeless or dead or in jail or what have you. Just fuck all over my life. Right? Johnny Lee, C-Mang, you don't know me. You haven't never known me. And right now, what you're creating online is a smear campaign in favor of Jesse's actions. I see it, and anyone else that is able to see it, see it. I don't care about these people that want to, and not only want to, but need to believe in the reverse of what I'm saying to be true, and the reason that they need to is because they are part of it. And you don't understand that. If the evil extended itself from my father's actions into my brothers, and there's demons that we all face, then those demons are definitely running. These demons are definitely being hard-pressed in their bodies if they have anywhere to continue to be in their bodies at all, by the ways that people are praying out here for their enemies. But see, I don't think you get that either. I really don't. And that's not me moving around the goalposts. This is me. I have like a lot of content I haven't even been able to even begin because of this shit. I started coming out here and I just started stuff and hell broke loose. I had to change it up, and I decided to do the rap thing because I didn't know how to say all this stuff. I didn't know how to surface the words. I was still fighting to surface myself from the poisoning that I am saying. They fucking poisoned me to remove me so that their crimes could go unnoticed. Covert crimes. Do they have? Can I ask you, Johnny Lee? Do other crimes happen where people get murdered that don't fucking surface to shit? Do they happen? And then if you can actually answer me that they don't, I tell you to go do your own research. And then I want to ask you a question, Johnny Lee. What's different about this situation besides the fact that it hasn't turned into an early obituary yet for me in that fashion, or that because I found out these things and people all over America and all over the world, when they find their person they love cheating on them, and especially with somebody that's supposed to be in a in a more of a covenant fashion after 20 some years to be there for his fellow man. No. No. He never was there for me. The only times that he was there for me was to continue poisoning me up. When I was in the homeless shelter, just that morning, I knew my password on my computer. I put it in my bag, and I get in the car with him, drink this water. By the time I get over to the girl's house where we were going, I didn't know my own password anymore. I had lost memory. He used that time to get further information for his own self to continue this shit. I know how all the ins and outs of this situation has worked. I got 16 years. Well, over that actually, about 20 years, but it was mainly 16 years of really hardcore having to figure stuff out. And you would too, Johnny. You would too, if you were being poisoned up by someone that you loved, and they were trying to get rid of you and make your heart pop, stop, or collaborate to block you up so bad that made you have a heart attack. I am still feeling the effects today. I'm a drummer. I like doing this. And just this action is causing blood flow to work wrong in my body because of the poisoning. And it isn't nothing else. I can tell you that because I was on fire in my energy and in my health and where I was heading in life before this attack and before these attacks. So Johnny, this isn't me moving around goalposts. Johnny, I'm trying to actually have a legitimate conversation with you, being that you are legitimately telling me that I'm moving around goalposts while you're legitimately taking sections of me to move around goalposts. You're telling me that I'm creating a big smear campaign online. I don't have an alternative reason other than this stuff that I'm coming out with now that I would have rather had worked on, honestly, with my people. But there just wasn't any reasonable effort on their end, being that they had been moving in that way. They had the information they needed. They had gotten away with shit before multiple times. You think I ever wanted to believe that my own brothers were involved in hacking me to maneuver me to identity theft me? Specifically so all the players involved make sense. They come up in my home, fix up the house, and sell it. They work in mortgage. They work within the mortgages. Jesse works as a great hacker. Investments in hand. Oh, they got all this information on me and they're not going to utilize it? I mean, if they weren't going to utilize it, it would just been like, hey, buddy, I hacked you. Check it out. I got in your account. I'm going to forget all about that now. Thanks for bringing it to my attention. I'm going to change my password. You know, just there's things that can be played out a whole lot fucking differently, Johnny Lee. And if you're too fucking stupid to fucking see it, keep creating your little fucking smear campaign. You got all of I don't know how many videos. Try and make as many as I did. And try and share that you actually have that reason to make 30,000 songs about that kind of lasciviousness, cheating, lying, manipulating, gaslighting, trolls, vegetables for brains when it comes to actual spirituality, actual heart-centered approaches into reality. But see, we don't actually have that out here. Johnny. You go to work for money, but what you're given is paper money. See, you're a slave too, just like me. You go to work for that paper money, and that paper money is a promissory note. It's all meant for all debts, to collect for all debts. It's not what money is. That's not what the issuance of a real paper currency was supposed to do. So what we want to do is speak out about these things so that we don't have paper money anymore. We can get away from slavery, file our UCC against the system so we can become our own banks again and take back our birthrights instead of being these dead fictional slaves going to work for what? How are you going to make any luxurious car when there's fucking people out there that got 56 and fucking big ass mansions? How are you going to make that on your wage, Johnny Lee? Or do you have that? Are you a Freemason too? Is Jesse Lee working within the CIA and that's why he's friends with Ryan, who is also part of the whole Catholicism, which if you ask me is all Jesuits order that's completely whitewashing the actual origination of the King James Version Bible, not giving you anything. It's giving you a spoon to go to war with in the spiritual realm. But anyway, it's just like that. When they're doing these things and they're giving us paper money, and we want to get paid for our time and our energy, for our actual worth and our actual agility of mind, to be able to reason through things, to fight these things. We want the issuance of a real currency, Johnny. I mean, am I not telling the truth here? Do we have the right to say that we want a real currency? Do we have the right to stand up right now and say, we have been duped all of our lives into this slavery, and we want money. We want real money, not a fake monopolized money, an instrument for slavery. So we speak out about it. It's the same thing. I deserve to speak out about the experiences that I've had, Johnny. And my automatic plan with Heartworks wasn't this stuff you're seeing regarding how I've been maneuvered, moved, gaslit, and all this other shit. It's a bigger plan, and it's like brick by brick. It's a brick and mortar system. It's really neat, to tell you the truth, but I guess you'd have to understand that, like, being in a place like that, you're going to, like, work on things, you're going to think about things. And that's what I did in my free time, just starting. And then I got into coding and I started learning things. And that's when my life went kaboom. By none less than some hacker at the time. I didn't know whom. But just seems to be that hacker is the one that came into my life to also maneuver things. At that time, he poisoned my mom. My mom was not herself when she came back from the hospital. My mom and I had plans to attack the situation that was happening there inside of the place that we were living in. And I know building code. That place was not passable to building code at all. They passed that place with intent to keep people going in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. Why? Because most people aren't going to be all extra penny pushers about the cracked light bulb or the fucking whatever that they're saying that they ruined. They make more money on the high turnaround. They make more money on the high turnaround, not having to give you back your initial down payment and your damage deposit. So they make more money off of you by keeping these places in high turnovers and passing these places that aren't up to code, where then people live in squalor, get pushed into the blight that they have to live in, and then it's people like this, hackers, that can come up in your life, poison up your own mother, she goes into the hospital, then the situation's definitely created, microwave, and then what I'm thinking happened is that the people that were going into that room to the side of us all the time, two, 3 times a week at times, we're putting in a microwave in there, unhinging the doors, putting something in there, locking something into the fucking mechanism to keep it on, turning the thing on for $99.99 or $59.59 or whatever the highest amount that it goes to, and walking away. We were being cooked inside of our own place that was not up to code, inside of a place that was passing places like this in the whole community, mind you. Ramsey County, you're a piece of gutter trash and you know it. Ramsey County, you allowed for these crimes to happen to me. These are crimes against my humanity. And then when you came in, you stripped me from being able to discover these actual crimes that I was speaking out back then about. No, you needed to push me under the bus. My own brother was pushed in the fashion to push me in that way, make it seem as though he was such a loving man in any other fashion. But there wasn't that there, G. So it's not about me tossing anybody under the bus. It's about them tossing me under the bus the entire fucking time to keep me controlled up and pushed under. For their own fuckery and their own fucking games. So Johnny Lee, what I'm actually saying is I would actually have a conversation with you face to motherfucking face if you wanted to actually go there. But I don't think you have it in you, dog. And if you do, then I would love it for you to arrange a situation where all of these people can be in the same place at the same time to talk about this very fucking crime that's happened to me in my life. You don't want to fucking go there? Then fuck off and get the fuck off my content and quit your own fuckery with your own fucking little smear campaigns, because that's exactly what you're doing. Not me. This isn't a smear campaign. This is me having every single fucking right to speak my mind and to speak my piece, no matter if my voice shakes. Because it's not easy. And furthermore, fuck you, dude. For not even having one fucking simpleton conversation with me. With me. The one that this shit's happening to. Instead, you're gonna go protect that fucking cowardice ass piece of shit who can't even, after 28 years, protect his own value of a loving fucking person. Towards his own friendship. It's not a fucking faggot thing. It's called being a fucking man. Having respect for your own fucking bloody friend. G? So Johnny, I'm willing to talk to you face to face about this shit. I'm willing to talk to you, my dad, my brothers, anybody else that wants to be there. But I'm not going to fucking tolerate this shit, because people in this situation with a whole lot less than what I've had to deal with take it and take the law into their own hands. And that is what I write Heartwork about. So Johnny, Jesse Lee, Dad, brothers, anybody else who wants to be there, let's have some simpleton conversation about the crime that's been happening to me, that's been happening to me my whole life. I'm not going to surface those memories for nothing. And they ain't going to come flooding back to me like a domino fucking rally effect for nothing. Inside of my mind and my ability and my agility to reason up with the thing and be able to take it out here in this fashion. Sorry. I'm shy. That's another reason why I know that. But furthermore, I'm actually saying I'm willing to talk to you. You're not. I'm actually willing to take it to those places. You're not. The only thing you're trying to do is smear me, smear my name, make me crazy. That's called narcissistic crazy making, by the way. In y'all's little smear campaign with y'all's flying monkeys that y'all need to come up against unanointed. Someone that has a relationship with the Lord. Someone that has a relationship with the Lord and wants that relationship to be intact with the Lord, not only for himself, but for others too. So get your facts straight, Johnny, because you don't have any of them. And if you do, put them online. Prove it. Prove it. You're saying that I walked up to you say I walked up to his house and peered in the windows? When? You say you have footage of it. Put it online. Because it's not there. It wasn't me. And furthermore, I have every fucking right to protect myself from this crime. I'm not going to go fucking homeless, be poisoned up, not have my own fucking memories, have my memories flood back to me, be poisoned up again, have my memories go away, come back to him all like Stockholm Syndrome. You know, and while I'm being poisoned up, do you know the only thing that you really feel you need? Love. You're suffocating down to the cellular level. What do you need, Johnny Lee? You're suffocating down to the cellular level. You can't breathe in your own fucking thoughts, your own skin, anything. What do? Johnny Lee? Do you turn gay and fuck yourself? Do you accept people wanting to make you out to be somebody that you're not? How much do you put up with, Johnny Lee? How much would you want to put up with? You're arsenicked out of your fucking mind. You can't even fucking tongue what you're trying to say. Try and get a sentence out, B. Yes. Try. You want to fuck around with my life without even having one simpleton conversation with me? I don't buy it, Johnny Lee. I think everything that these people are is just Freemasonry bullshit type of fucking gunning down good people for the innocents for what? For what? For money, for power, for greed, for your propagandist's machine. Listening to Saturn. I don't know what the fuck y'all are like. True to the spirit. I know who people are. But as far as that goes right there, as far as the way I see things, when one person is in duress, one person in this entire world, it means everybody should be coming together for that one person to figure out that duress. But in this day and age, these pedophiles get away with their evergreens. They get away with their fucking funneling all of their money into offshore accounts for fuckloads of reasons. They get away with popping genetically modified organisms into children and killing off populations. They get us to take fucking medications so that they can make not only money on the vaccinations, but they make 500 billion more on the vaccine injuries that come, diabetes, all the medications, all the fucking visits, everything. It's a fucking wonderful plan. But we're not supposed to talk about it, right? Just accept it. And when you go in and you're like that and you can't talk, and when you go in and you're being held against your will, Johnny, and they get you to take something and your tongue swells up in the middle of your sleep to where you're going to choke and die, talk to me then. Talk to me then, player. Because I don't think you got it in you to go through what I've gone through and to come out on the other side without those, like what happened to Chanhassen. I think if you had even 4 or 5% of what I've had happen in your relationship with your wife and coming from a friend of 28 years, I don't think you'd be able to hold tight, is what I'm saying, Johnny Lee, based on your content. I think that you would be the type to go and kill that man, turn the gun on himself, or kill the lady, or whatever happened in Chanhassen, or all the other scenarios like that, where it's really bad, G, when someone feels the need that they need to get rid of somebody for their own fuckery and affairs and poisoning and abusive ways that they've been taken in that person's life, and you, my friend, want to pretend like I don't have a reason to come out here and say anything. Like I'm just crazy. This is all smear campaign. It's all just a show, right? Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you, Johnny Lee. Fuck you, Sayman. Fuck you, 85 Productions, whatever. Fuck you, all you smear campaign psychos. All you are is these people who also need these people, mind you, who can't equal anything up to what I'm trying to actually bring out here in real time. Because, let me break it down for you in real time. In a wholeness of a person in Christ, they are like the best form of that money, if you could put those two together, because it's a bad analogy, really, truthfully, but it might surface some understanding here. When you have to have all of your flying monkeys, and they are that many, all of you in your value that you could bring to the table inside of that kind of Heartworks campaign is like pennies. They're nothing. They're doing nothing, especially these days with the inflation being, they're just nothing. You're the whole, and when you're in Christ, you're the whole dollar. Sure, you're a dirty dollar. We're all as good as dirty rags coming to the Lord. It's written in the Bible. But the fact of the matter is that it takes all of you to try and rise up against the one anointed, and it still doesn't succeed. And the reason it doesn't succeed is because the Lord's promises are true. Yes and amen. So provisions are there, and people can think whatever they want about that, but the believers not only believe it there, the Lord has instilled it inside of us in a way that's like undeniable fashion. And then these people can go ahead and deny that inner working, that light that can be there in the first place at all. But it's there. And it's legitimately the only thing that does work for the better and light and love and loyalty, where people can flip them L's off safety. In my lyrical value, that's what it means. Is love, light, loyalty, legacy, like we're building something here. Something real. Not, oh, let's smear campaign and make sure to get this guy into a, can we get him in, what did he say? Can we get him into a psycho ward? Like, really? You really think that low of me, Johnny, and you haven't even had one conversation with me? Wow. Much love to all you guys. You need it. I don't like what you've done to me, Jesse Lee. You ruined my life. And as far as my brothers go, I don't know, man. I think you did this whole thing to smear me up in my time, energy, and anything that I could have done to grow from in the first place. And when you guys couldn't take it anymore, or whatever happened, y'all have stories that y'all aren't going to be able to be like, Lord, that didn't happen, this didn't happen. No. You're not going to be able to deny it when it comes to the Lord. So go ahead, keep spinning the record, Seeming. We'll create something phenomenal yet. I believe in you.